question? During the regular season, you run a lot of different pick and roll situation against the Knicks. Sometimes you go straight in the middle. Sometimes you use the side with like empty side pick and roll. Or do you make the decision to go central or to go side?
Yeah, I think everything just depends on the pick and roll ball handler matchup, screener matchup type of coverage that they have, and the spacing that we're trying to manipulate on that particular possession.
Joe, you always talk about how it's not about threes, it's about getting the best shot. Against Orlando last series, that best shot wasn't a three. You guys got a lot of threes against New York this year. What about this specific group of guys is so willing to adapt to that sort of like mindset?
I mean, it's the mindset of you take what the coverage gives you. So at the end of the day, there's multiple matchups, coverage, recognition, and you have to make the play that makes the most sense versus the coverage. And that's been one of the strengths of the guys from day one. Is how are you being defended? What's the right screen? How do you create the 2-on-1? What's the best read out of that? So we have to continue to do that, and we'll see different coverages throughout this series.
Joe, this is a playoff rivalry dating back 70 years. I know you're focused on the now, but do you have a memory growing up of Knicks Celtics?
No, not really. I have an understanding of that, obviously, but at the same time, we're a part of that. What comes with that is execution, physicality, attention to detail, and kind of all the things that kind of give you a chance to win.
Joe, do you use anything else that's happening around the league, any wins and losses from other series, to kind of use as teaching moments or just kind of like reminders for your guys? Like, hey, look, this is a reminder. We finished our series in this way, but this is how other things are going. If this doesn't work for us, this could be us. Or do you use any of that stuff in any way in preparation?
I think situational basketball is important to learn from, whether it's yourself or others. So, yeah, having how many ever days we had of preparation, you have the ability. Obviously, you're doing a ton of situational work. And so I think there's themes that come up within other games. But there's also non-negotiables that come up in every game. And I think sometimes when you watch a game, it's easy to be blinded by, all the stuff that it is. And at the end of the day, you're looking to hammer home the details. Fourth quarter rebounding, transition defense in the fourth quarter, attention to detail on personnel, who you can help off, who you can't, defending without fouling, the right spacing and execution at the end of the game. I think all those things show up everywhere. And so the more you can fight to be able to do those things and have an understanding of it's those things that give you the best chance to win over the course of a long time, I think that helps you.
Joe, they only had about 5 minutes during the regular season of that double big look, Towns and Robinson. How do you kind of forecast how big a part that could be of a series like this when you just didn't see something like that much during a regular season? And how much do you pull from those regular season games when a guy like that's out for most of it?
Yeah, everything depends on matchups, sub-patterns, coverages. At the end of the day, those will tell you what to do. Sub-patterns could change depending upon the beginning of the series, foul trouble, whatever the case may be. But you're just trying to make sure you match, the matchups and the coverages as much as you can.
Joe, what stood out to you about their series against Detroit? Was there anything about them different in that playoff series than you guys saw during the regular season? Obviously different personnel and some different, there's differences there, but I think all 6 games were in the clutch. And, so with that, you're able to answer the question of why. Why do games get to where they get to? Are there moments of stretches throughout ending quarters, ending halves? Do you get the 2-for-1? Are you giving them the last shot? A bunch of situational stuff that can give you an answer as to why it got into the clutch. And then once it's in the clutch, what is effective of those situations of how you're being efficient within the clutch, right? And so, there's a lot to be able to take from that series because they played a ton of close minutes. And, you have to have an understanding of how you get to that point and when and if you're in that point, how can you be effective on both ends of the floor? So there's stuff there, and we just have to be ready to execute.
Thank you, Joe.
Thanks.